The planet lay silent beneath a blanket of dust and ancient stone. To most in the galaxy, it was little more than a forgotten speck, a world where time had long since forgotten its surface. But for Dr. Alara Voss and her team of archaeologists, this desolate place held a secret that could rewrite history, buried deep beneath the cracked ground. The team uncovered the remnants of a colossal structured twisted metal and crystalline, panels unlike anything recorded in current galactic databases. At first, they believed it was simply the ruins of a lost colony. Yet, as they delved deeper, it became clear that this was something far greater. A starship. Not just any ship, but one whispered about in legend, the human ship, so powerful it was said to have vanished from all records, buried intentionally to hide its existence from the universe. Alara stared at the metallic hull, faint symbols etched along its surface glowing softly in the dim light of the excavation site. The technology was beyond anything humanity had built for centuries, let alone anything known to other species. Its very presence challenged everything the galaxy thought it understood about human history. Back on Earth, the revelation sent shockwaves through scientific circles and governments alike. Questions flooded in. Why had humanity hidden such a powerful vessel? What threat or responsibility had forced their ancestors to bury this ship? And most importantly, what secrets did it still hold? Galactic news outlets broadcast the discovery instantly. The reactions were mixed. Some celebrated the finding as a triumph, proof of humanity's lost grandeur and untapped potential. Others eyed it with suspicion, worried that unveiling the ship might provoke old enemies or disrupt the fragile political balance among the stars. Amid the rising tension, the Galactic Council called for calm and caution. Representatives from numerous species debated the implications behind closed doors. For centuries, Earth had been a growing presence. But this discovery catapulted humanity into a new and uncertain spotlight. The galaxy watched, waiting for Earth's next move. On the excavation site, Alara and her team worked around the clock. They discovered that the ship's hull was not only durable, but alive in its own way. Sensors embedded in the metal twinkled like stars, and the ship's core emitted a faint, steady pulse. It was as if the ship were waiting, dormant but vigilant, ready to awaken after eons of silence. As the team carefully powered up one of the ship's ancient consoles, a holographic projection flickered to life. The projection showed images of distant stars, encrypted data streams, and a message, partially obscured by time, but still clear in its intent. It spoke of a mission to protect humanity and its allies from a threat so vast that the galaxy itself could be at risk. The weight of this message settled heavily on Ilara's shoulders. Humanity had created this ship not for conquest, but as a safeguarded guardian against a darkness, long forgotten by most but remembered in the ship's hidden memory banks. While excitement buzzed through the scientific community, political leaders faced a dilemma. Revealing the ship's capabilities could unite allies or spark fear and conflict. Earth's government debated how to proceed. Should they broadcast the discovery and invite galactic cooperation, or keep the ship's full power secret, hiding it until humanity could fully understand and control it? In the quiet moments before dawn, Alara stood beside the ship, gazing up at the stars. She felt the weight of history, the hopes of her people, and the fragile future of the galaxy itself. The human ship had slept for centuries, buried beneath the soil and secrets of time. Now it was awake, and its story was just beginning. The universe would never look at humanity the same way again. The ancient ship lay silent no longer. Deep beneath the surface of the forgotten planet, the fusion reactors began to hum quietly. As the engineers carefully restored power, Dr. Alara Voss watched from the control room, her heart pounding as lights flickered across the vessel's intricate control panels, signs that the ship was coming back to life. Years of meticulous work had brought the vessel from the depths of dust and ruin into a functional marvel. Yet, even as the ship awakened, much of its technology remained a mystery. The materials seemed almost alive, responsive, and adaptive. The ship's hull, once dull and cold, now shimmered faintly with a strange blue glow, as if it were breathing beneath the surface. Inside the command deck, an artificial intelligence system, ancient yet remarkably advanced, began to communicate. Its voice was calm and measured, speaking in a language that merged code with human speech patterns. "Welcome, explorers. I am the sentinel of this vessel. I have awaited your arrival." Alara stepped forward, all mingling with excitement. "Built you. Why were you hidden?" The AI responded with fragments of its creator's story. Humanity's ancestors, facing a galaxy teetering on the edge of chaos, had built this ship as a safeguard. It was a vessel of last resort, an instrument designed not for conquest, but for protection. It carried technology capable of devastating force, but also systems to shield and preserve life. "The threats of old have not passed," the AI warned. "They lie dormant, but ever present. This ship must remain vigilant." Earth's leaders monitored the progress with cautious optimism. The Galactic Council demanded access to the ship's data, but Earth hesitated. Revealing the ship's full capabilities could shift power balances, invite fear, or provoke enemies long hidden. Meanwhile, scientists raced to decode the ship's technology. They uncovered designs for propulsion systems that could traverse vast distances faster than light, energy shields stronger than any known defense, and weapons capable of dismantling entire fleets with precision and efficiency. This wasn't just a relic. It was a revolution. The ship's AI offered insights into long-lost technologies, nanomachines that repaired the vessel autonomously, advanced computing systems that learned and adapted in real time, and communication networks that could interface with other life forms instantly. The vessel was a symphony of technology, far beyond the era it was built in. Yet, questions lingered. Why had humanity's ancestors buried the ship? What threats were so great that they hid their own creation rather than wield it openly? Ship regained strength. Political tensions simmered. Neighboring systems expressed concern over Earth's sudden leap in power. Some factions demanded that the ship be disarmed or dismantled. Others proposed joint control or even preemptive strikes to neutralize what they feared might become a weapon of mass destruction. Earth's diplomatic corps worked tirelessly to assure allies and rivals alike that the ship was a shield, not a sword. They emphasized humanity's desire for peace and cooperation, even as military strategists prepared contingencies for possible conflicts. Within the ship, Alara and her team discovered chambers filled with stasis pods containing the preserved forms of those who had built the vessel. These ancestors had sacrificed everything, placing their faith in a future generation to awaken the ship only when the galaxy faced its darkest hour. The weight of that responsibility settled on Alara, like a mantle. This ship was not just a machine, it was a legacy. It carried hopes, fears, and warnings across the stars, waiting for humanity to prove it worthy as the vessel completed its full power. Its vast engines ready to ignite, a new broadcast sent shockwaves through the galactic network. Earth had officially announced the ship's existence not as a weapon, but as a guardian. The universe now had a new beacon. The human ship, too powerful to exist, had awakened, and with it, humanity's true journey among the stars was about to begin. The hum of the ship's revived systems filled the silent expanse as data streams pulsed across ancient consoles. Deep inside the vessel, the artificial intelligence, the Sentinel, shared more of its hidden history with Dr. Ilara Voss and her team. The ship's origins were unlike anything anyone had imagined. Built by humanity's distant ancestors during a time when the galaxy was rife with conflict and uncertainty. The ship was more than just a war machine. It was a Guardiana last line of defense against a shadow looming over the stars for eons. The vessel's primary mission, the AI explained, was to protect humanity and its allies from the extinction-level threat known as the Voidborn. The Voidborn were a mysterious force, thought to be a myth in most galactic lore. Ancient texts spoke of a dark, relentless enemy entities or machines that consumed worlds, leaving nothing but emptiness in their wake. For centuries, the Voidborn were believed to be gone, or perhaps never real. But the ship's data proved otherwise. The Voidborn are not extinct, the Sentinel said with measured certainty. They sleep beyond the edge of known space, waiting for a moment to return. This ship was created to ensure that if they ever emerged, humanity would stand ready. The revelation sent a ripple through Earth's scientific and military communities. This wasn't merely a weapon of war. It was a symbol of survival, a testament to human ingenuity and foresight. Dr. Voss studied the ship's historical logs, filled with star charts, strategic analyses, and cryptic warnings. The ancestors who built the ship had faced a galaxy far more dangerous than today's. They designed the vessel to act autonomously if needed, capable of independent decision-making, rapid response, and immense destructive power to halt threats before they could spread. Yet the ship was also programmed with strict ethical protocols. It was built to defend, not to conquer. Its weapon systems were intended to disable and contain, minimizing unnecessary loss of life. This balance of power and restraint reflected the values humanity hoped to carry forward as the team delved deeper. They discovered the full extent of the ship's capabilities. Its propulsion systems could bend space-time, enabling travel faster than any other known technology. Its defensive shields could absorb or deflect nearly any form of attack, and its arsenal included precision weapons designed to disable even the most advanced fleets. But the most striking feature was the ship's AI itself. It was more than just a computer. It was a custodian of knowledge, able to learn, adapt, and even negotiate. It could communicate across species and cultures, serving as a bridge in a galaxy too often divided by fear and misunderstanding. While Earth's leaders grappled with the ship's implications, word of the discovery spread rapidly. Some factions welcomed humanity's rise as a positive force, a new protector for the vulnerable. Others viewed the ship as a threatened unbalancing force that could ignite war in the Galactic Council chambers. Debates grew heated. Representatives questioned whether any one civilization should wield such overwhelming power. Could humanity be trusted to control a weapon designed for extinction-level threats? Amid the political tensions, Elara pushed for transparency and cooperation. This ship is not just humanity's, it is a legacy of all who wish to preserve life in the galaxy, she said. Its power is a responsibility we cannot take lightly, but hiding it will only make us weaker. Meanwhile, deep space scans began to pick up faint, unsettling signals from the galaxy's outer rim, the very edge of known space where the Voidborn were said to dwell. The ancient enemy was stirring. The revelation confirmed what the ship's creators had feared. The galaxy's darkest threat was not a myth. It was real, it was patient, and it was coming. Earth's military prepared to mobilize, and alliances were forged in urgency. The ship, once a secret, had become the cornerstone of a new defense strategy. As the Sentinel AI initiated systems checks and updated its tactical databases, Elara realized that the human ship's secret mission was no longer just a warning from the past, it was a call to action. The galaxy's future would be decided by how humanity wielded the power of the shipweather as a shield, a beacon of hope, or a weapon feared by all. The story of the human ship, too powerful to exist, was far from over. In fact, it had only just begun. The galaxy's reaction to the awakening of the ancient human ship was swift and unrelenting. News of the vessel's capabilities and its secret mission spread like wildfire, igniting curiosity, fear, and ambition across countless star systems. For centuries, the galaxy had operated under a delicate balance of power. Now, that balance teetered dangerously. From the gleaming spires of the Hellion Empire to the shadowed corridors of the Orcs coalition, rulers and warlords alike sent envoys to Earth, each with their own agenda. Some sought alliances, hoping to gain access to the ship's unparalleled technology. Others viewed it as a threat that must be destroyed before humanity grew too powerful. Alara Voss watched the diplomatic storms unfold from Earth's orbital command center. The team had anticipated interest, but the scale and intensity of it was staggering. Every new message was a reminder that revealing the ship's existence had opened a door that might never close. Across the political spectrum, voices clamored for different responses. The Hellion Empire, wary of humanity's growing influence, pushed for strict regulation, demanding the ship be surrendered to a Galactic Oversight Council. The Orcs coalition, a faction known for its mercenary fleets and covert operations, whispered threats veiled in diplomacy, warning Earth not to overreach. Amid the political noise, smaller systems sent fleets of their own to ward Earth's orbit. They did not announce their presence openly, instead shadowing the planet's defenses and scanning the ancient vessel for weaknesses. Earth's military quickly raised alert status, reinforcing patrols and preparing for possible conflict. Within the ship, the Sentinel AI monitored every signal and assessed the intentions of these new players. Its systems adapted rapidly, activating defensive protocols and recommending strategic postures. Though the vessel was designed for defense, the AI understood that survival required readiness for offense. Hostile interest is increasing. The AI reported during a council meeting. I advise immediate enhancement of defensive systems and diplomatic outreach. Earth's leaders agreed. They sent skilled diplomats and emissaries to neighboring systems, seeking to build trust and forge alliances. They shared select information about the ship's mission to protect, not conquer. But not everyone was convinced. In the shadows, a faction known as the Black Sun Syndicate saw an opportunity. They dispatched covert operatives to infiltrate Earth's research facilities, intent on stealing the ship's secrets. For the first time in decades, espionage and sabotage threatened humanity's fragile hold on the ship's power. Alara found herself juggling more than scientific challenges. Security breaches, diplomatic tensions, and the ever-present pressure of command weighed heavily. The ship's legacy was a beacon, but it had also become a target. One evening, as the sun dipped below Earth's horizon, alarms blared across the command center. Sensors detected an unidentified fleet massing at the edge of the solar system fast, heavily armed and unwilling to communicate. The Galactic Council convened an emergency session. Representatives debated the nature of the threat. Some suspected a preemptive strike to neutralize the ship before it could be fully activated. Others feared the arrival of mercenary groups eager to claim the vessel's technology for themselves. Earth's military commanders prepared for engagement, but Alara sought a different path. She believed that demonstrating the ship's power might deter aggression and open the door for dialogue. With the Sentinel AI coordinating, Earth broadcast a message of warning and peace, a display of strength, but also of restraint. As the hostile fleet advanced, Earth's orbit became a stage for a tense standoff. The ancient ship powered its shields to full capacity, its energy signature lighting up the void like a warning flare. Behind the gleaming defenses, diplomats prepared back-channel communications, hoping to prevent bloodshed. The standoff lasted days, each side wary, measuring the other's resolve. In this charged silence, a fragile understanding began to take root. The attackers, impressed and wary of the ship's capabilities, agreed to parley. The meeting was tense but hopeful. Earth pledged to use the ship's power to protect the galaxy, not dominate it. Some factions accepted this, while others remained skeptical. Alara realized that the human ship had not only awakened from the depths of time, but had stirred old fears and ambitions. Its power was a double-edged sword, safety and strength, but also risk and conflict. The galaxy had taken notice. Earth's greatest challenge was no longer just the secrets of the past, but the uncertain future shaped by the presence of a ship too powerful to exist. The quiet tension of the standoff shattered in an instant. Without warning, the hostile fleet at the edge of Earth's orbit launched a sudden barrage of plasma missiles and ion beams, aiming to disable the ancient human ship before it could fully assert its dominance. The assault was swift and relentless, testing Earth's defenses and the ship's legendary capabilities. Inside the command deck, alarms blared as tactical officers scrambled to respond. Dr. Ilara Voss stood alongside the ship's AI interface, her eyes fixed on the view screens as energy shields flared to life around the vessel. The ship, dormant for centuries, now roared with power. Its defense systems engaged instantly, deploying an array of automated drones that swarmed into the void like silver fireflies. The enemy's weapons struck the ship's shields, but the energy barriers held strong. Advanced technology, long lost, two-time absorbed and redirected the assault, nullifying most of the damage. In moments, the tide of battle shifted. Deploy countermeasures, the Sentinel AI ordered smoothly. Target hostile command vessels first, with precision and coordination that surpassed any modern fleet. The ship released guided energy pulses and electronic warfare strikes. Disruptor beams scrambled enemy sensors, while targeted pulse cannons disabled missile launchers before they could fire again. Earth's fleet, bolstered by newly commissioned warships equipped with reverse-engineered technology from the ancient vessel, joined the battle. Together, they formed a defensive ring around the ship, intercepting enemy fighters and protecting key installations. Despite their overwhelming firepower, the attackers were unprepared for the human ship's adaptability. It's I learned from every strike, altering tactics in real time. Swarms of nanodrones repaired hull breaches almost instantly, and the vessel's propulsion systems allowed it to reposition rapidly, evading dangerous maneuvers. The battle was a symphony of destruction and defense, with the ship's capabilities dazzling all who witnessed it. Enemy fleets were caught off guard, their coordinated attack unraveling as their ships were disabled or destroyed one by one. On the bridge, Ilara felt a surge of pride tempered by sobering clarity. The ship's power was undeniable, but so was the danger it attracted. "Enemy command ship down," reported the tactical officer. "Their fleet is breaking formation." The attackers, once confident, now scrambled for retreat. Some fled in the chaos, while others sent desperate distress signals begging for ceasefire talks. The human ship and Earth's forces held the battlefield, but victory came at a cost. Several Allied ships sustained damage, and the first casualties were reported. The battle had confirmed the ship's dominance, but it also made clear that such power invited conflict, not peace. After the fighting subsided, Earth's leaders addressed the galaxy in a broadcast that was part victory speech, part warning. "This ship represents not just our past, but our future," they declared. "We seek peace, but we will defend ourselves and those who stand with us. Let this battle be a reminder. The galaxy has changed." The aftermath was felt everywhere. Some factions, awed by the display of power, chose diplomacy and alliance. Others grew fearful or jealous, escalating arms races and deepening divides. Ilara returned to the ship's command center, reflecting on the battle's lessons. The vessel was a guardian, yes, but it was also a beacon, a signal that humanity had risen beyond the limits others expected. Yet she knew the true test lay ahead. The ancient enemy, the Voidborn, still lurked beyond the stars. The ship's first engagement was a warning shot, not the final battle, as the human ship powered down its weapons, systems, and began repairs. The crew prepared for what was to come. This warship, too powerful to exist, had awakened a galaxy's worth of fears and hopes alike. Now it was humanity's burden and honor to carry that legacy forward. The echoes of the first engagement still reverberated across Earth and beyond. But for Dr. Alara Voss, there was no time to rest. The battle had been a warning, a glimpse of the dangers lurking just beyond the horizon. While the galaxy debated alliances and threats, a deeper shadow stirred in the uncharted reaches of space. The ship's ancient AI was relentless in its vigilance. Sensors tuned to cosmic radiation fluctuations and gravitational distortions detected subtle anomalies at the edge of known space signs that something immense and unnatural was awakening. The data matched descriptions from the ship's encrypted archives. The Voidborn, we are not alone. The Sentinel AI stated gravely during a briefing. The Voidborn presence grows. They approach the galactic rim. Alara felt the weight of those words settle like a stone in her chest. The Voidborn were no myth. Their return would threaten every world, every life. Earth's leaders authorized a deep space reconnaissance mission. A squadron of the human ship's fastest vessels was dispatched to investigate the mysterious signals. The team carried sensors and weapons far beyond current standards, but even with such advanced technology, the journey was perilous. Weeks passed. Communications from the reconnaissance fleet grew sparse and erratic. Then, silence. Alara and her team scoured the data they had scattered, transmissions filled with static. Warnings of overwhelming force and cryptic messages about a dark tide consuming everything in its path. The ships had encountered the Voidborn and barely escaped with their lives. The Galactic Council, once divided over Earth's newfound power, now faced an undeniable threat that required unity. Calls for cooperation grew louder, and an emergency summit was convened on the neutral station of Alturas Prime. Representatives from dozens of species, many long skeptical or hostile toward humanity, gathered under one roof. Alara was invited to speak, sharing the hard truths uncovered by the human ship's mission. The Voidborn are real, she told the assembly. Their advance is inevitable unless we act together. The ship we have awakened is our first hope, a guardian built to confront this darkness. Some delegates listened with fear, others with hope. A few remained wary, distrustful of Earth's intentions. But the evidence was undeniable. The galaxy faced an ancient enemy that could not be ignored. Back on the human ship, preparations accelerated. The vessel's AI began simulating strategies to counter the Voidborn's known tactics: siege warfare, planetary sieges, and cybernetic infestations that had devastated entire systems centuries ago. Alara worked closely with military commanders, scientists, and diplomats to develop a multi-pronged response. Defensive networks were fortified, and rapid deployment forces stood ready to assist vulnerable worlds. But beneath the surface, a darker fear gnawed at her. Was the human ship alone enough? The ancestors who built it had buried it away, perhaps knowing it was a last resort. Could humanity and its allies truly stand against the approaching storm? As the shadows lengthened, strange phenomena began to appear across the galaxy. Stars flickered and dimmed inexplicably. Outposts reported systems failing without warning. Unexplained disruptions in communications left entire sectors isolated. The Voidborn were moving, consuming light and life. One night, as Alara gazed out from the ship's observation deck, Sentinel AI projected a chilling image: a vast swarm of mechanical tendrils stretching across space, devouring planets and stars alike. The ancient enemy's advance was not just a possibility. It was a certainty. The human ship, once a secret relic, was now the galaxy's first line of defense. Its power was immense. But so too was the darkness pressing in from beyond. Ilara whispered a silent vow. Humanity would not hide or falter. They would face the Voidborn with courage and resolve, proving that even the greatest shadows could be challenged by the light of unity and termination. The ship's engines thrummed in the quiet that followed, ready to carry its crew into the unknown. The war for the galaxy was just beginning. The story of the human ship too powerful to exist was far from over. The Galactic Rim was a place few ships dared to tread dark, cold, and cloaked in the remnants of star systems long extinguished. Now it had become the front line in a war the galaxy had feared but never fully believed. Earth's fleet, led by the human ship's immense power, advanced cautiously into the unknown. The Sentinel AI's projections guided their course, tracking the faint but growing signatures of the Voidborn's advance. The fleet was a patchwork of species and ships, united by necessity rather than history. But each pilot knew the stakes. Dr. Alara Voss stood on the bridge of the flagship, her eyes scanning the swirling expanse before them. The Voidborn's tendrils crept through space like a dark storm, blotting out stars and leaving silence in their wake. This was no ordinary enemy, was a force of extinction itself. As the fleet approached, a system barely clinging to life, sensors suddenly flared with warnings. Voidborn forces surged from the shadows vast. Mechanical horrors that moved with eerie precision and relentless purpose. The battle erupted with brutal intensity. The human ship unleashed its arsenal, energy cannons and missile batteries roaring. To life, its shields shimmered like a celestial fortress, absorbing barrages of dark energy and corrosive plasma. Surrounding vessels fought fiercely, coordinating attacks and defense in a desperate dance of survival. Yet the Voidborn were unlike any foe encountered before. Their machines adapted rapidly, bypassing defenses and targeting weak points with chilling accuracy. Ships were disabled or consumed, their crews swallowed by the encroaching darkness. Ilara's voice cut through the chaos. Focus fire on the Voidborn command node. Disrupt their coordination. The AI responded instantly, recalibrating weapons and deploying swarms of repair drones to hold the line. The battle was not just about firepower. It was a test of strategy, resilience, and unity. Amid the fury, the human ship revealed a secret weapon, a pulse of pure energy, harnessed from the ancient reactor deep within its core. The blast tore through the Voidborn ranks, severing tendrils and disabling key machines. For a moment, hope flared, but the enemy adapted. From the wreckage, new forms emerge, shifting, merging, evolving beyond expectations. The Voidborn were not simply machines. They were a living network, a hive mind fueled by relentless will. As the flagship maneuvered to protect the retreating vessels, Alara's comms crackled. Incoming transmission, Galactic Council fleet requesting emergency assistance. Voidborn forces advancing faster than predicted. The battle was turning into a race against time, with the ship's AI guiding every move. The fleet executed a coordinated counterattack. Allied forces struck from multiple angles, cutting off supply lines and isolating Voidborn clusters. The ancient ship's unique technology became a beacon of hope, inspiring allies and striking fear into enemies. Yet casualties mounted. Entire squadrons were lost, and the toll weighed heavily on the crew. Ilara knew that the victory would come at a price in the heat of battle. The ship's AI revealed a startling discovery. The Voidborn's core command was housed in a vast, concealed citadel on a nearby Munadark fortress of unimaginable scale and power. Destroying the citadel could cripple their entire operation, the AI advised. But the mission will be perilous. Without hesitation, Ilara authorized a strike team to infiltrate the Citadel. The mission was fraught with danger, but it was the best chance to turn the tide as the flagship's weapons held back the Voidborn swarm. The strike team descended toward the moon's surface. Shadows stretched long and strange beneath the barren landscape, and hostile forces awaited. The fate of the galaxy rested on a knife's edge. The human ship, too powerful to exist, had become the spearhead of Hopan the Guardian against the Void. Ilara watched the battle unfold, knowing that whatever happened next would define the future of countless worlds. The ancient enemy was relentless, but so too was humanity's spirit. The war for the galaxy had entered its most crucial chapter. The air inside the Voidborn Citadel was thick with cold and silence, broken only by the faint hum of alien machinery. The strike team moved cautiously through the labyrinthine corridors, their footsteps muffled by layers of dust and forgotten technology. They were humanity's last hope, tasked with crippling the core of the darkness that threatened to consume the galaxy. Ilara Voss watched from the flagship's command center as data streamed in from the team's helmets, each step bringing them closer to the heart of the enemy. The ship's AI provided real-time analysis, guiding them through security systems and hazards. The Citadel pulsed with eerie energia, hive mind's core, sprawling and complex. The team's mission was clear: plant the ancient ship's specialized disruptor charges, designed to sever the Voidborn's neural network and disable their command structure. As the team approached the central chamber, Voidborn sentinels surged. Sleek, relentless machines designed to guard their master's secrets. A fierce firefight erupted, lasers slicing through shadows, explosive charges detonating in the eerie gloom. The strike team's training and the human ship's technology gave them the edge, but every moment was a struggle for survival. Back in orbit, the flagship maintained a shield wall against waves of Voidborn reinforcements. Earth's fleet fought with valor, inspired by the courage of those on the ground and the power of the ancient warship. Inside the Citadel's core, the team reached the neural nexus, a pulsating mass of dark energy and wires connecting the vast hive mind. They deployed the disruptors, syncing their detonation with the flagship's main weapon systems for maximum effect. With a roar that echoed across space, the disruptors ignited. Energy rippled outward, severing connections and disrupting the Voidborn's hive consciousness. The Citadel convulsed, its defenses faltering. At that moment, the flagship unleashed its full power, a focused beam of pure energy, piercing the Citadel's core. The Voidborn's hold on the system shattered like glass. The darkness began to recede. The victory was monumental, but it came with a heavy price. Many brave souls were lost both in the fleet and on the ground. The galaxy mourned, but it also celebrated a new beginning. Ilara stood before the Galactic Council once more, her voice steady with resolve. This ship, our legacy, was built to protect life. It has done so. But the true power lies not in the weapon itself, but in the unity and courage of those who wield it. The ancient human ship, once too powerful to exist, had become a symbol of hope, a beacon that reminded the galaxy of the strength found in cooperation and compassion. In the aftermath, alliances formed stronger than ever before. Technologies were shared and defenses coordinated. Humanity's role in the galaxy had changed forever, from isolated survivors to leaders of a coalition dedicated to peace and protection. Ilara returned to the ship's observation deck, watching the stars shine brighter without the shadow of the Voidborn. The AI's voice was calm and reflective. The threat is diminished, but vigilance must remain. The galaxy is vast, and mysteries remain. She nodded, knowing the journey was far from over. The ship was a guardian, but humanity's spirit was the true force that would carry the future forward. As the ship powered down its ancient systems for a time of peace, Alara whispered a vow to honor the past, protect the present, and inspire the generations yet to come. The human ship, too powerful to exist, had fulfilled its purpose not as a weapon of destruction, but as a legacy of light.